What's going on, gamers? Suro here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a dev update. It's May 30th, 2022, and we finally have the developers' view on what they've been thinking about over the past couple weeks, the launch of V Rising and where they're going to go from here. I gotta say, I've read through this and I'm a little bit concerned about it, so we're going to dive into that in just a moment. But before we get into that, it's time to celebrate the milestone. There's been 1 million users on Steam that have downloaded this. We know that this title has been just absolutely like hitting it hard. Everybody loves it. We've been sinking hundreds of hours into the game, and most of the big content creators, streamers, they all touched on the game and they played it. And I think that's what brought in a lot of viewers. And it's one of those games that, yeah, your favorite streamer or content creator may be playing it, but it's one of those that people just stayed around because it is that good. And that's something that's pretty rare in the gaming world nowadays, because a lot of games have just been a bit of a disappointment over the past couple years. It's just unfinished. And V Rising, to a point, actually feels like a finished game. So congrats to Stunlock Studios for that, because the game as a whole is a really good. I know I have about 180 hours into it. And while I am at the point where I pretty much have nothing left to do, I am just very happy that I had so much fun with it. Literally every waking moment that I wasn't at work or doing something else, I was playing this game. Like it's so good. So for $20, like, you got the value right off the bat. But the thing is, we love the game so much that we just want more of it. And I think that's where the problem might lie within this game, because I don't know if the developers were expecting such a massive amount of people to enjoy it, and I don't think they actually have a plan for it. But let's go ahead and see what they have to say about it. So they say, many journeys have a set path, a road with clear destination. While we certainly have our goal in mind for V Rising, our path is not all set. We are oiling the axles of our wagons, making sure the horses are well fed, and making sure that everything is in order before we cast ourselves into the wild. Our primary focus right now is bug fixes, balance changes, server optimizations, and quality of life improvements. The next step will be to analyze all of the data and feedback from the first weeks of early access to make sure that we can nail the master plan moving forward. We're already working on new material to inject more life into Vardaran, but improving on the game is more than just adding content on top of what we have already have. We'll have to improve on the entire journey to make sure V Rising will reach its full potential. So while this is great news, you know, they're focusing on a lot of stuff, I gotta say, I really didn't run into barely any bug fixes. I don't know, maybe other people did, but on like 180 hours, I didn't really run into anything. I got stuck like in one spot and couldn't move one time. Balance changes, there does need to be some balance changes on the PvP aspect of things. PvE, just stop nerfing the Scorch Stone. Like, seriously, stop nerfing that. Nobody wants to farm 1 million Scorch Stone by hand, and there's just a few locations that you can grab like 1 or 2 pieces, and then you have to run across the map and maybe get 1 or 2 more. So if you mean balance changes by that, fix that. Other than that, I don't really have any issues with the game. Server optimizations, I didn't have any problems, but I'm sure there are some. And then quality of life improvements, there are quite a few things that could be fixed. But here is what worries me. They say that they don't really have a goal, or they have a goal, but they're a little unsure of how to get there. And that's what worries me, because we have been kind of spoiled by games like Fortnite, Destiny, Call of Duty, all these AAA titles. They have been releasing content every 2 months, 3 months, or whatever. And it's not like when I was a kid, whenever we would have to go a year or 2 years to get new content or a sequel or something like that. The way the gaming world is now is like, you have to have something in your back pocket or your game is just not going to survive. And that's just the way it is. So I was hoping that V Rising would have something in reserve to release like a month ahead, because I always feel like even if you're an indie studio, you could have a small percent of something to release just to keep people kind of engaged with your game. That way they actually make it to that release. So let's keep going down a little bit further, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So it says that the massive support V Rising received will not only give us the opportunity to finalize our plan for the game, but it will also give us enough time to include some of your darkest dreams of what experience can look like at full release. We can promise you something very special for 1.0 with time. So it's kind of a pattern here. Everything, they're saying that there's going to be a lot of new content and there is a future for V-Rising, but it kind of sounds like they didn't really have anything in their pocket at this time, and it's going to be quite some time before they can actually work up enough content. Maybe they weren't expecting there to be such a massive amount of people wanting to play this game, but we just keep seeing this, you know, with time. So that's what has me a little concerned. It's no diss to the developers. It's just, that's the way we're wired these days. Like we love a game, we become addicted to it, and we just want more and more content. Which there will be, because it says that there will be more weapons to wield, loot to plunder, and sorcery to conjure. There will be more V-Bloods with new challenges, lanes to explore, and further ways to enhance your castles to express your vampiric glory. A world that will feel fresh to dive in and sink your teeth in again and again. The vampire's journey is far from over. So what we have here is, we have content. It's going to be a ways away, but there's going to be a lot of stuff, and they're going to stick with the game. They're not going to abandon it, or at least they say they're not going to right now. So there is a future of V-Rising, so that makes me very happy, because I can't wait to keep playing this game and play some more content. Right now, we're just taking a step back to be able to leap forward, regrouping so we can move into the next leg of our journey in unshakable intent. These dev updates might not come as frequently. So here we go again. These dev updates might not come as frequently at first, as we'll be taking a moment to refill our blood reserves. After that, we will be launching onward at full speed to bring the new dark designs for the fall and beyond. So they're kind of teasing that we're going to get some new content in the fall. I'm not sure if that's actually when we'll get it. It might be at the very end of this year or early next year is what I probably expect to happen. But the marketing team will continue to report on our progress for Inside the Thick Walls of Stunlock Dungeon. So as a quick recap, the game did really well. We all loved it. I love the game. I feel like as a package for $20, it's more than what you could expect. But it's a game that we're going to get greedy with because we want more content. We want to play this game more. But here's the huge problem. Even on my servers, like my PvE server, my PvP server, people went on vacation from work, whatever. They've been playing 150 hours and they are just done. Like there's nothing more to do. There is no end game. Once you progress and you defeated all the bosses and you progressed all the way up to the max gear level, there's nothing to do, because to get to that point, you had to explore every part of the map. And that's what made the game great. Like everything in the world was like synergized. It all worked together, interlocked with each other, and you had to explore every inch of the map. You had to defeat all the bosses and defeat every enemy. You had to complete the whole package to be able to fully beat the game. And that lies the problem, as we're out of content and there's no replay value really. I mean, you could restart it up, but it's kind of just a huge grind. And after you've already played it the first time, you're probably not tempted to grind it some more. And then here is the other major problem. We could be preparing for the next update. We could be, getting a bunch of dark silver, scorched stone, stuff like that. But we don't know if they're going to wipe the servers, which they very well could be. So, for example, if I'm on my main server and I've completed everything there is to do in the game, and I spent a couple months just farming dark silver, getting the best servants, and then they're like, oh, we have a massive new update with brand new content, and then, sorry, we're wiping the server. Well, I kind of just wasted months of my time. So that's where I feel like a lot of people are actually going to quit playing this game until the next update. And if we know anything about gaming, is once people quit a game, they kind of just are bored with it, and it kind of just goes to the back of their mind, and then a brand new game or a new shiny object comes out, so then they move to that. So I don't know, it has me worried that they didn't even have some sort of boss or armor set or something. Like I said, I hope I'm not being too negative or anything. I know it kind of sounds like that, because I do love the game. I just I don't know. I know a lot of people on my server already quit the game just because they've 2 weeks in, they've burned through all the content. Now there's nothing. So let's hope we get something pretty soon, or if it is the fall, let's hope it makes it to the fall. A couple of months away, and maybe September or something. If we have some new content, even if it was small, that'd be really nice. So other than that, thank you Stunlock for a great game. I mean, you guys definitely deserved it. You hit it out of the park with this one, because this game is really good, and at a $20 value, it is insane. So anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts, because I really do want to know your thoughts. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.